I need to go back and do that again? Yes, I should go back and do that again. Okay. Can I pick back up from, you're good to go in and select the job, right? Okay. So we've gone in, we're going to do our backside setup. Now, am I recording? I better be. Yes. All right. So now you're going to enter your occupy point and your backside point. If this says backside azimuth, you're just going to hit the little arrow next to it, backside direction, backside point. Hit the little arrow, choose from map or choose from list. So I'm going to choose from list. I'm going to select the point that I want, and I'm going to hit check. My distance, and it'll think. And then it will report back to you how far it is on. Is that good? And then if all of this checks, you can just hit the little green button and keep going. If it's way out of whack, like way out of whack, okay, you have the right point numbers. If you know you have the right point numbers, go in and double check the coordinates that you keyed in. It's possible maybe you transposed the number or something. Okay. But you should be within 2 tenths. Okay. Then this brings you back out to your backside setup and hit the little green button. Now, yes.
Are you going to want us to record that backside error if it's not bad?
If it's not bad, you can just move on. But you bring up an excellent question. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do something called a backside check. Okay. You have your control points, which are what, 1 through 10 or 1 through 50. You're going to have your side shots, which is all the shots that you're going to want to locate. Those you can start numbering at 1,000, 500, whatever you want. I'm going to do a backside check. The company that I work for, our backside checks we code as 90, 91, 92, 93. And I'll explain why in a second. Okay. So if we go to traverse side shot, okay, I want to call my next point, point 90. My description, I'm going to call it backside check. Okay. And here you choose backside, traverse, or side shot. You've already done your backside. You don't need to redo it. Traverse, that would be if you lost one of your points. So you set on a known one, backside one that you still have, set a hub and tack, and then shoot it as a traverse. Everything else you're going to do as side shots. Okay. So I'm going to take a side shot of that. Did everybody hear the 3 beeps? As soon as you hear those 3 beeps, you see how this doesn't do anything? I have no idea why. It's a quirk. Just pick anywhere on the screen. And if you hit the little green check button, did you hear how it sounded like it kind of took a picture? So you have to pick a spot on the screen, you have to hit the little green check, and then it gives you the results. Why? I have no idea. I didn't program these things. Okay. Now you can go right on to the next one. Ooh, I want to redo that because I want to call it 90, not. There we go. Not 9 lowercase o. Right. So shoot it as a side shot. As soon as you hear the 3 beats, it got it. Okay. As soon as you hear those 3 beats, you can pick a white spot on the screen, hit the little check button. Now it's recorded. So now you have it. Okay. Would somebody do me a favor and take that rod and just shoot the end of the table? So come around here, stand here, and shoot each end of the table and work your way up. Now, field process, right? One person's going to be walking around with the rod, right? Have you guys done a lot of this yet? Omar Prism's got to face me, right? There you go. One person can be aiming and one person can be keying stuff in, right? So once you're out there working, you've already taken your backside. You're aiming center of glass, side shot, and I'm going to call it. Got it, Omar. Go to the next one. And table. That's what I wanted. Recorded it. On to the next one. Nope, not that one. Hang on. And if it's the same thing, I don't have to enter any. Got it. Go. And all you're doing is aiming center of glass. And as soon as you hear the 3 beeps, you got it. Go. Now, really, I should slow down for a second because I really should have been labeling these something different because those are my backsides, right? So really, I should have been calling this, what do you want to call your topo points? 1,000? Maybe 500? Nobody cares? And side shot. Got it. Go to the next one. Hit a spot on the screen, hit the little check button. I got it. Last one. Never straddle the legs. Does everybody see the red light? Anybody remember what that is? Infrared light. Okay, Omar, thank you. You can just set the rod back in the corner, please. Okay. I just took a bunch of shots, right? And what does all that mean? Well, everybody see that little icon map? No way. What?
Look, we just use that next time instead of so
That's kind of the point,
Oh,
right? So would you like to go out with the field book and shoot a couple hundred shots for the next 2 weeks and write them all by hand, or would you rather do that?
Yeah.
So it takes all of that background to get here.
Gotcha.
Okay? That's what we're doing. Now, let's talk a little bit about why I coded side shots different. I messed up. I should have called that first side shot, whatever you want to code it, 200, 500, 1,000, something different. It doesn't matter what it is. Okay? At the end, I've spent an hour shooting stuff at my first set, or a half hour, or whatever it is. I've shot 50 points. I've spent a certain amount of time. Is the instrument going to be exactly level like it was when you first set it up after an hour? No, the legs are going to settle. You know, hopefully, if you bump it, you got to re-level it and retake it. Okay? It's not a big deal. It's just good procedure. Okay. What I was doing with the backside check, okay, at the end, I've spent an hour. I'm going to go back to my backside point. And you can do this with the other data collector too. Because the programs are nearly the same. So when you're done in this, these are your little zoom icons. Do these zoom icons look kind of familiar? They try and make the icons similar to Civil 3D. Okay. So now, when you're done with the map, you just hit the little green box. Now, I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna shoot. I'm gonna check back into my backside. Okay. So go back into side shot. But now I'm at my next backside check number, which I'm gonna call it, since I don't know what I had, I'm gonna call it 99. Okay. But I'm gonna relabel it backside check. The other thing this thing will do is it will remember the last couple of things that you shot. So if you're bouncing back and forth between, say, topo points and building points, if you start typing T for topo, this little pop-up will appear and you can just select it. You don't have to type the whole thing. Okay. So I'm going to do a backside check and I'm going to do it as a side check. So they got it, right? Hit the screen, hit the check mark, it's stored. All right, I'm done here. Both programs have COGO and inverse. COGO is coordinate geometry. It's short for coordinate geometry. So you had two lines that you intersected, right? You can do it inside that machine. Okay. Inversing is you have 2 points and you want to know the distance between them. Okay. Sometimes inversing is a program inside of COGO, and sometimes it's a separate program. In the smaller data collectors, it's a separate program. Okay. So my back site was originally point number 11, right? I'm going to do inverse between 2 points. I know the numbers. I want to know between 11 and 99. I'm still within a happy tolerance. Okay. So you can check how far the gun drifted or wandered in the time that you did your step. How do we all feel about this? You go. Oh, that was just a thumbs up.
Enthusiastic thumbs up.
Enthusiastic thumbs up. Nice. Joy.
So keeping track of what the points are of, it's just labeling the points up and just doing the follow map or different numbers.
Great question. The only way I keep track of specific points is if there was something funky going on that I messed up a run, or the only way I keep track of points is if I know I want to do like an inverse. Like that last shot that I took, I knew I coded it as 99 because I'm doing my backside check, so I want to know it. Other than the fact that my side shots are 1,000, you could make yours 500. If you pick back up again and you're like, I end up at 525 or 530, just pick up at 600. Right? Just so you don't overwrite stuff. It will ask you, are you sure you don't want to overwrite this? But so did that answer your question? Pearson, you had your hand up.
Yeah, so is this telling you the error, or do you have to go into your spreadsheet and calculate the degree?
Right there.
And it's the horizontal distance? Is that-
Yep.
Okay.
So you have horizontal and vertical. It's telling you your horizontal.
Oh, the
and vertical
horizontal
column.
distance is the error, or no, is that what it's?
The horizontal distance and vertical distance between the 2 points that I entered would be like the beginning point and ending point on the traverse.
Okay.
So it's, those distances are the errors.
Okay.
Did that answer your
Yeah.
question?
Yeah.
So instead of going around and doing the coordinates and doing it in CAD, you're saying that this is point number 1 and 1 prime, but that won't take 1 prime. It'll take 11 or 21 or 31 or something else. And you can inverse between those two and it'll tell you the error.
Where's the grade different? How does someone become a grade of 4,000%? I understand.
Okay, so you're dealing with uber small numbers. So grade, right, is as a percentage of slope. Slope is rise over run, right? Anywhere you go, slope is always rise over run. So it's taking the rise, the 0.27, and dividing it by 0.000 or 0.06 or 0.006, right? That's why the slope between those lines is ridiculous, because the vertical difference is like 2/10 and the horizontal is almost 9. So it's essentially dividing by 0. Now, if we were laying out a sanitary line, right, and we shot the 2 ends of where the pipe is going to go, you want to make sure that that pipe, it depends on what type of pipe it is, but if it's a main line, then it's at least 0.5%. Otherwise, the inspector is going to reject it. So I'm going to shoot the 2 ends of the line, I'll inverse between them, and it'll tell me the pipe. Does everybody feel reasonably comfortable with this? Everybody's excited to take a bunch of notes.
Yes.
Okay. Let's do something else before we call it a day. Okay. I don't want to get into what's going on in the background so much as I want to start looking at some of the things that you should be looking at field procedure wise. So I'm going to stop sharing. And the instrument go to sleep. So let's go to the old Googles. All right, since nobody did it, I'm going to do Marvel. Okay. Now, it's kind of hard to see elevation difference on just a vertical map, right? But if it were me, and I was surveying Mark, from a plan view, you're going to want to shoot the roads in the front and the back and on the sides. Okay. Where you have these long straight sections of roadway, right? You're going to take a tangent shot about every 15 or so steps, 13 to 15 steps. That's about 50 feet. So you're going to work along here and shoot the edge all the way along. You're going to shoot the corners of the building. If the building has any jogs in it, like this front columns that kind of overhang, you're going to want to shoot that. You're going to want to shoot all the sidewalk bits. You're going to want to shoot anywhere where there's a grade difference. What do I mean by that? Like, let's say we all know that the road between, like, this little driveway here it's pretty steep, right? So you got the building, but you got the road that does something like that, right? So you're going to want to shoot as you go up the road. If you have, like, let's say there's a landscaping firm somewhere, right? So you have this nice little slope. And then over here you have your building. Well, for your topo, you're going to want a shot every 50 feet maximum. So about every 15 paces. But if you have like a nice little rolling hill like that, right? Usually it's good enough to get top, bottom, and bottom. But if it rolls like that, if it has like a nice gradual slope, right, you might want a shot on either side of it. You saw how quickly you can take shots, right? I mean, you can shoot the bejesus out of stuff, right? We've all seen landscaping firms that are nice like this, right? Has anybody ever been to a construction site? Yeah, you ever see how a contractor grades a berm? Blade on that dozer is like, it's a sharp edge, right? There, you can shoot bottom, top, bottom, bottom. Right here, you might want to shape it a little more because those contours they're smoother. They're not as sharp. Okay, so you're not only looking at horizontal things, but you're looking at vertical things. Can I erase this? What else? Stairs. If the sidewalk goes beyond, you're going to want a shot out here at the sidewalk. But for this first step, why do I want a shot here and here? To know how tall the stair is, but wouldn't I get that just from this? No, not really, right, Omar? Right, so what you don't know is from this point to this point, does the sidewalk slope this way? Or does the sidewalk slope back in towards the step? I can tell you most likely it slopes away. Why? Why? Somebody said it, runoff, right? You'll end up with ice at the bottom of the step. And most likely it slopes away. Do you need to shoot top and bottom at every step once you get that first one done? No, because those steps are most likely going to be level, right? So at that point, you can just get your tops of the stairs. Finished floor elevations, okay? When you open a set of doors, all sets of doors are not identical, right? Some of them have like a trim piece at the bottom, like a coping piece. Everybody know what I'm talking about? Some, it's a very smooth transition. It makes it a lot easier for ADA accessibility, but those door sills, there's nothing really illegal about them. Some places have them, some places don't. So if you have a doorway, is the door sill the finished elevation, the finished floor elevation? No, absolutely not. It's probably about an inch or so higher. So what do? You open the door, you put the rod inside the door, and you stand there with the door open and you take your shot about a foot or so inside the door. If it were me and I was shooting the finished floor of a Copian, am I going to shoot that funky, fancy brick stuff that they have out here? No, I'm going to hold the door open. I'm going to put a brick under the door and I'm going to walk in until I get to the linoleum and take the shot when I get further inside. Does everybody understand why I'm going to do that? I want one shot on the finished floor of the building. Yes, absolutely. So you're not only locating horizontal things, but you're locating vertical things. You're not only locating buildings and sidewalks, you're locating pretty things, trees and landscaping. And Street View does wonders, right? But it's not the end all and be all, right? Like you can get down here at Street View. Am I going to want to shoot that tree? Yeah, of course I am. Am I gonna wanna shoot all these trees? Absolutely. Am I gonna wanna shoot all the light posts? Benches, stairs, columns? Heck, yeah. If you wanna create an accurate existing features plan, like I said, shoot everything. If it's not moving, shoot it. Get a shot on it. Keep your coding simple, Chris. Right, so for that type of tree, what I would do is take 2 shots on it. So if that's my tree, I'm gonna shoot a shot here and here. If it's something that needs to be in an inventory for like an architect, I'm probably gonna take 3 shots on it. And I'm probably gonna take 4 or 5 shots out along what they call the drip edge of the tree. So you go out to kind of where the leaf canopy ends, and landscape architects call that the drip edge of the tree. And you're gonna shoot that. That tells you the canopy of the tree. Do you have to do that? No, you could probably just take 1 shot on it, measure it.
So it's like, let's say those two trees, they have like their leaves, look like they're locked in. So they're like, they're matched together. You just kind of assume what the origin is of the tree.
Oh, you just kind of eyeball it. I mean, it's not like, we're not locating the corner of a bridge above, right? Yeah, that's good.
All right.
Some things, like when you're shooting benchmarks, you want to be uber precise. When you're shooting a tree canopy, it's good for my house. Questions about that? 2 labs, I think, is enough time to get 100 shots. I don't think that's unfair. 100 shots, I think, is enough for you to shape your building and all of the vertical topography around it, including steps and curves. And remember, you want to get at least 50 feet beyond your building. At least, you can go more. So what's going on in the background? You really don't need to know this, but I'm going to talk about it while this video is recording. So I'm going to